Hey, all you squires and neophytes, it's time for some more Guild Wars 2 beta PvP action. But before we actually get into the PvP, I want to do a little bit of introductory on my character and its build. We are currently in the Mists, which is sort of a PvP staging area where you got combat training and just a place where you kind of a staging area. You can set up your build, set up your character, kind of play around with it, get used to the abilities and stuff. So I've played around in here quite a bit, but this is the first time I'm not really going to do any tour around here because it's really not that exciting. We got some targeting dummies here, nothing big there, but just want to kind of throw down the build you're going to be seeing in my upcoming matches. This is my warrior, Amy Zahn, and her stylish armor there, which you won't actually see in the game because once you get in PvP, they kind of color you based on your team. Let's start out with my weapon set. I've got a rifle here, which, let's switch to that, which has got a, auto attack, does some bleed damage, then there's a cripple attack, then there's just a rapid fire, then a vulnerability attack, and then just kind of a pushback. And then I'm gonna main with my daggers, for up close. That's my ranged option. There's my up close option where auto attack does bleeding. Then there's distance closer, which is a leap. I really like that ability. That's fun. Then there's a cripple. Then there's a weapon throw, which does bleeding. And then it took me a while to realize this, but once you throw it, you can actually, I don't know if you have to be up next to him. You probably do. You can pull the dagger back out for more damage. It took me a while to figure out that. I'm like, is this not casting? Because it was always available for a second attempt. And then finally, a block that counterattacks into more bleeding. And let's see, the gear here, I think right now the gear is pretty much standard, but you can put in some runes that give special upgrades. So I have used the Runes of the Afflicted, which looks like the more you have, then it kind of unlocks higher tiered abilities, so you want to kind of get all the same rune pretty much. And I've got a plus 28 condition damage, plus 15% bleed, plus 55 condition damage, plus 15% poison, which isn't really relevant to me, then plus 100 condition damage. And then apparently when I go down, I create a death nova. I have no idea what that is, but I'm sure we're going to find out it's PvP. I'm not going to live forever, and if I do, well then that just means I'm awesome. So as you're probably getting the hang now, I'm going for sort of a condition bleed build. I don't know if it's going to be a good build or a strong build for a warrior to do, but I wanted to give it a try. It's still too early for anyone to know definitively what's a good build, and people just may not be ready for it, and I'm hoping to stack a lot of bleeds that last a long time and do a lot of extra damage, and even if they knock me down, just bleed them to death. And well, let's go over my what skills I've set up. I mean, technically you can change these once you're out of combat, but that's way too much to manage at this point in time. It would be enough just to remember all the controls I have to hit and all the buttons I want to do. I got my basic heal, which is heals and removes 2 conditions. Then I've got a stomp that launches him in the air. That would be a nice little interrupt if I need it. Then I've got frenzy stance, which I really like the name of that, which just makes it go really fast, which with all my bleed attacks means I can just stack even more bleeds on there. And then we've got endure pain, which is just a quick invulnerability. That would be my emergency button. And a battle standard, which drops a flag down that looks like it's going to revive fallen allies, and then it gives stability, fury, and might. So I really got that for the revive allies. So if we're in a big battle and a bunch of people go down, drop one of those, they'll all pop back up, and we'll just go to town on them. And plus the warrior mechanic. Always got to figure out what the F1 mechanic is for the warrior when they do attacks. I believe it's only when they do attacks. They gain adrenaline. And there's 3 levels of adrenaline. Once you get to each level, you can hit F1 and do a powerful attack based on whatever weapons you've got equipped. And the more you have your adrenaline fill up, the better it does. So you have to get to tier 1 to do the attack. Tier 2 is going to be more powerful. Tier 3 is going to be super powerful. And for my swords, it immobilizes my enemies and does a lot of damage and some more bleeding. So I like that. And I guess we can see what the rifle does. The rifle just does, really a lot of damage, but I tried the level 3 adrenaline on that. It does quite a bit of damage. So those are my skills. And something I haven't covered before is traits. I knew they existed, but frankly, last time I did PvP, I just plumb forgot about them entirely, so I didn't actually I didn't actually use them. There's my weapon skills. Those are my utility skills. And here's the traits. There are 5 trait lines. So you can put, and you get, once you hit level 11, you get 1 trait point per level, all the way up to level 80. So each level you can add more trait points. And each trait point gives a boost to two of your stats, depending which line you go into. Every 5 points, you unlock a special passive ability. Like here in the discipline level, you get at 5 points, you gain 5 strikes of adrenaline on weapon swap. So you swap weapons, and it gives you an adrenaline boost. So it'll help you do your power attacks better. And then every 10 points, you can unlock a choice of passive abilities. They're boosts and buffs and all sorts of neat things. So, and as you go up in the tiers, they add more to what you can pick from. So, you know, tier 2 adds tier 1 plus some new ones. Tier 3 adds 1 and 2 plus some new ones. So it's an interesting system. Lets you kind of do different builds, and you can always, I think, refund. Here you can just refund them and reallocate them. When you're doing PvE, I'm not exactly sure how it works yet. I haven't tried it yet. I might get to that before the end of the weekend, because I do have one character with a couple of points in him I can actually use. Part of the reason I never did trace is I never had anyone that earned any other than when I did PvP. So let's check out my build. I've got 30 into strength, which gives me plus 300 power, which is just direct damage, and then increase condition duration by 30%, so my bleeds will be 30% longer. And I have damage foes at the end of a dodge skill. That's okay if I dodge near anyone. Then I've picked 5% power is given as a bonus to vitality. So it just means, you know, warriors generate a lot of power, so that'll just give me a little bit more health. Then up here we have burst skills restore endurance. I'm not really sure what is considered a burst skill. So, you know, some of the terminology you have to get up the library of Guild Wars to figure out what else some of these terms mean, because they have a lot of terms. Then I have weapon specialization, damage 5% increase when wielding axe, mace, or sword in your offhand, which I am offhanding sword for my close-up attack. Then here, got this strange little guy. Get a damage bonus when endurance is not full. So if I've done any dodging, I get a little bit of a damage boost. It's nice if you can't get away, might as well do a little more damage. And then up here we got increased damage of physical utility skills by 100%. This recharge on your physical utility skills is reduced by 20%. So I think that's basically just my, just my stomp. Yeah, that's my physical skill. So that just means I'll be able to increase more damage with my stomp, which currently does 359. I don't know if that's with or without the bonus. And it'll recharge a little bit faster, so I'll get faster interrupts. But I mainly got this for the power and the duration on conditions, but there were some nice bonuses there I had to get. I also have 30 points into arms, so I get 300 precision, which is critical chance, and plus 300 condition damage, which will be my bleeds yet again. We get precise strikes, 30% chance to bleed on critical hits, so even more options to bleed, which is another great reason to take this line. Bleeds that I apply last 50% longer, so this is definitely going to be a lot. There's going to be a lot of bleeding here. Burst skills have a 10% increased critical chance, which will also help apply more bleeds, so that's nice. Rifle and harpoon gun skills recharge 20% faster, so when I'm doing long range, I'll just be able to use my abilities a little faster. Attack of opportunity, increased damage to bleeding foes by 10%, so more bleeding damage. You can see this is all very, very synergistic here. And Blade Master, increase your critical hit chance with sword by 10%, so now I got plus crits to my swords. And I believe we got, plus, oh, that's burst skills. So burst skills have a 10% crit chance. I still don't know what burst skills are. Does it say anything that these are burst? No, it doesn't really say, so I don't know. So that's that line. Then I put my last 10 points into defense, which is going to increase my toughness, which is my defense. I don't know how the defense mechanic exactly works yet. And plus 100 healing, which I don't really do any healing except my direct heal, so that's not really that big a deal. But we get extra armor when health is above 90%, so basically if I'm at full health, I will be harder to take down initially. And I probably just got it for this, gain adrenaline when hit. Oh yeah, so I'll build up my F1 skills when I'm attacked, not just when I'm attacking. So not really the primary line, but you know, some nice abilities, and I couldn't find anything else. So that's the build. And all these golems are dead. I would like to Oh, there's a golem, so let's see if I can test it out. Oh, he's almost dead. I want a golem that's not almost dead, so let's take one of these out here. Take him out. Right, there we go. I'm not targeting him. Okay. So let's see what we can do here as soon as he... Okay, so I'm gonna do Frenzy Stance into Throwing Dagger into Leap. So Frenzy Stance, Throw Dagger, Leap! And then I pull my dagger back out. Looks like we already got 6 bleeds up on there. That's nice. And then I've built up some adrenaline, so we can see if I want to use that. Then I just lock him into place and just flurry of attack, and then wow, 9, 10, 11. All those, look at all those bleeds I'm applying. That is exactly what this build is for. I'm hoping this doesn't turn into some sort of glass cannon build, which most people seem to think that those are kind of cheesy builds that just aren't very good, but I don't know. I'm hoping this is a good one. I don't think I sacrificed too much. I mean, I'm a warrior, so I still got a lot of health, a lot of power, so I got a lot of direct damage. And really, just kill it off. Why are we leaving these half-dead robots here? I can't practice that way. And let's see, I'm going to switch to dagger, or to rifle. Just apply some more bleeds. 5, 6, 7 bleeds. See if I can get that adrenaline up to 300. Or up to level 3, not 300. Rapid fire. There's my adrenaline up to level 3. So once that thing comes back, I'm going to unleash, see how much damage we can do. Look at all those bleeds. Looks like my bleeds do about, what, 110 damage to these things? And here's my power skill. Charged up the shot, and, ooh, that's a lot. Shoot faster. Frenzy Stance, Frenzy Stance, Frenzy Stance, 10, 11, 13 bleeds. So that is nice. So that is my build. We're going to start getting right into the games to use it, see if I can accomplish anything, and hopefully we'll have some fun. So let's get right into game 1.